Hi, I'm Kathy Holloway Hill, and welcome to another episode of the Living by Design show. We have a great show for you today. Relationships are very important, right? Every single person on the planet wants to have a great relationship with that special someone. And we have an individual here with us today that's going to make sure that you have that special someone in your life. Mr. Jason Miller is a private practitioner and a relationship consultant, and he is an expert in this area. So we're going to talk to Jason. Jason, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us and spending this time to talk to our viewers, because we really need help out there, Jason. You know we do. We really need help out there. So let's just start out by talking a little bit about what do you do and how do you help people improve their relationships?
Well, again, like you said, I'm a private practitioner. I'm a relationship coach. Kind of is under the umbrella of life coaching as well.
Okay.
And I like to meet with clients and, take them from A to Z. A being their most challenging relationship issue,
yes,
and getting them to Z. But once we get them to Z, that basically means they have a complete or a more complete understanding about the particular issues that they're going through in their love life.
Okay, all right, that's good. Now, do you see a lot of people who want to point the finger at the other person? Well, if they would just do X, Y, Z, everything would be fine. Do you think that's challenging for them to actually see themselves and see what they may not be doing right?
Absolutely, because whatever action that you take, it builds another reaction in your partner. So you actually can change your behaviors up to get a different reaction out of your partners, even if your partner is the so-called one to blame.
Yes,
yeah.
I absolutely can believe that. Now, I understand that you have a new book that you're working on.
Absolutely.
So, and the name of the book is?
The People Reader.
The People Reader.
Yes. How to discern the spiritual energy of anyone you're dating, in a relationship with, or married to. So we're basically going to be covering the relationship / spirituality aspect of your love life. So it's like, not only I'm helping people get in a relationship with the physical person, I'm helping you build a relationship with their spiritual side as well.
I love that, because I think that's what's missing in a lot of our relationships.
Absolutely.
The divorce rate is what, 60-some-odd%?
It's getting up to 65%.
That's amazing.
It's getting bad.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And I believe it's only because people feel like they have an out. When divorce is an option, then you're not going to put everything into it that you could possibly put in. So tell us a little bit about your book and how is it going to be, well, first of all, when will it be out?
I'm looking to release my book around the beginning of April, maybe the middle of April, but I'm working day and night trying to get it polished out.
I know you are. I know you are.
Super excited.
Can you give us a sneak peek, just a little tidbit of what to expect?
Well, I'll give the reader will understand that everything is energy. Everything is energy, and the spiritual term is discernment when it comes to reading that particular energy. So just to give you a little tidbit, Jesus, we'll take two examples of Jesus. You know how he told Judas that he would betray him, and you know how he told Peter that he would deny him 3 times. Well, basically, Jesus read their human energy, tapped into it, read it, and let them know their future human behaviors. We have the same possibilities in our dating life, but it's like we choose to overlook those feelings,
yes,
because of the physical. But I want to merge the physical and the spiritual, so you can have a more complete relationship.
That is great, because there are so many times, because I do life coaching as well, that I hear people say, well, I had this intuition, or my gut told me, or I had a feeling. Well, isn't that what the discernment is, to be able to read that? The physical
side of that relationship makes us overlook those gut feelings,
yes,
and the spiritual experiences that we're having. So you smell good, we're having a good time, I overlook your spiritual because for the physical.
Right.
But once I get to understand the spiritual side of you in that physical relationship, bye-bye relationship.
That's right. That's right. And the red flags may be there.
Absolutely.
I know I hear that a lot. That, well, I saw the red flags in the beginning, but I just chose to ignore it because he smelled good, like you said, or maybe she looked good, or she had a nice body, or whatever the case may be. And now we have just absolutely missed out on potential hurt down the road.
Absolutely. Hindsight makes us relationship gurus. when we look back at the relationship or that marriage in hindsight, I knew it. But I want to get my clients to the point where I see it before I even experience it. So by me seeing it, it gives me a different perspective of where I want to take this relationship or where I want to take this marriage.
Exactly. And here's the million-dollar question. When they have experienced a bad situation in one relationship, why do we turn around and do the exact same thing and all the flags are there? The experience is now there too, but we're going to do it right again.
I think the relationship or the new marriage, whatever umbrella you want to give it, we go into that new situation the same person. Not only are we supposed to change the bad relationship or a bad marriage, we're supposed to change the person that we became in that marriage or in that particular relationship. So the people that bring that ideologies and that viewpoints and those behaviors over into the new relationship is because they're not really letting go of that baggage, and some of the baggage is their baggage as well. So I really believe that you should become a new person for a new relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally agree. That is the key, in my opinion. I think that's the key. If you can't fix yourself or understand or be aware, because you can't fix what you don't face.
Definitely.
And if we don't face whatever we did wrong, then we're doomed to repeat it. So, we've got to be aware of that.
And like we were talking earlier, it's all about awareness. Just because we're ignorant to the truth doesn't mean the truth is not a reality.
Exactly.
So we definitely have to be aware of.
Exactly. Well, Jason, we are so fortunate to have 3 young ladies who are here, and they really are anxious to talk to you.
Okay.
So we're going to take a little break, and we're going to be right back with some ladies, and Jason may give them the advice that you need to hear. So stay tuned. We'll be right back with more Living by Design.
When we were kids, we were told we could be anything we wanted to be when we grew up. But as we got older, we hit roadblocks. Things that once seemed fun started to seem impossible. But somewhere along the way, if we were lucky enough, we found someone who believed in us, who challenged us, who pushed us farther than we ever thought possible. And eventually, we start to believe that we can be anything we want to be when we grow up.
Learning RX Brain Training is clinically proven to dramatically improve the way your brain works. We team you one-on-one with a personal brain trainer for intense mental exercises, raising IQ an average of 15 points and improving mental performance in every area of life. Learning RX. Serious brain training for serious results.
Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? Do you feel that life is passing you by, yet you have nothing to show for your efforts? Are your employees miserable with low morale and high stress? Hello, I'm Kathy Holloway Hill, founder and CEO of C. Holloway Hill Enterprises. And if you answered yes to those questions, then our quality workshops, seminars, keynote presentations, and one-on-one life coaching will provide you the tools and methods you need to elevate to a higher level of awareness. Life is not a destination, it's a journey, and you keep going and growing. So if you're ready to grow with us and experience results-oriented services, then contact C. Holloway Hill Enterprises today at 812-418-3391. Welcome back, and I'm so excited to have Allison Morrison here with us, and she is anxious to get some advice from our relationship expert. So Allison, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we're really excited to hear your story. So Jason is here, he's waiting to give you some advice. So
Okay. I've been on online dating for about 6 years now, but I haven't had a lot of luck on it. But the most recent relationship, we've dated for about 6 months, Then we broke up. Then he got married. She actually passed away, and then he contacted me again.
Wow.
We tried it another 5 months, and it didn't work out again because he said it was too soon to date.
Mm-hmm.
So then he contacted me a third time, and we tried it again. He said that he wasn't ready for a relationship, but then I saw his profile on on a website, a dating website, and I was perplexed about that. I just kind of confused as to why he would pursue me, and then decided he didn't want a relationship, and then was on a dating website.
That's a good question. Let me ask you a question now. Do you want him back? Or would you be open to him coming back?
I would be open.
You would?
Yes.
Now, who's been the initiator?
He has.
Okay. So my next question to you is,
Okay.
are you willing to basically put your life on hold for these different, episodes that he's having of wanting to come back?
No. I don't think I would like to do that.
So basically,
Yeah.
you are willing to move forward, but right now you're saying you have feelings for him, strong feelings for him.
Correct.
Okay.
I do. I'm trying to keep dating to see if anything happens, but yeah, he is in the back of my mind.
Okay.
And that sounds like something that she probably should give a lot of thought to, maybe.
Absolutely. It's just going to be a process. Right now, you're weaning yourself off, but my only concern is if he wants to come back. So all the progression that you're already having, it could actually go down the drain once he comes back. But by you going to the dating process, as far as the online dating, I'm a huge advocate for online dating because it gives you an insight of that person. You can see the progression of that person, but the online dating that I'm talking about is social networking sites that people, visit every day. So you can actually see their progression. You can see how he talks. You can see what he thinks about. You can see his likes. You can see his dislikes. But the other dating sites, to where it's strictly dating, it's easy for somebody to put their best foot forward.
Right.
So again, we call that the representative on the date. I want to show you who I want you to perceive me by.
Exactly. I think that's great advice, Jason. And I think basically what Jason is saying is that you really have to, he was just talking about going inside and discerning the situation. So, great advice. Thank you so much, Jason. Allison, we're going to have you back here in just a second because we got a couple other ladies who Jason is going to do the same thing for and give advice to. We have so much more coming up on Living by Design, so stay tuned.
When we were kids, we were told we could be anything we wanted to be when we grew up. But as we got older, we hit roadblocks. Things that once seemed fun started to seem impossible. But somewhere along the way, if we were lucky enough, we found someone who believed in us, who challenged us, who pushed us farther than we ever thought possible. And eventually, we start to believe that we can be anything we want to be when we grow up.
Learning RX brain training is clinically proven to dramatically improve the way your brain works. We team you one-on-one with a personal brain trainer for intense mental exercises, raising IQ an average of 15 points and improving mental performance in every area of life. Learning RX. Serious brain training for serious results.
Are you sick and tired of feeling sick and tired? Do you feel that life is passing you by, yet you have nothing to show for your efforts? Are your employees miserable with low morale and high stress? Hello, I'm Kathy Holloway Hill, founder and CEO of C. Holloway Hill Enterprises. And if you answered yes to those questions, then our quality workshops, seminars, keynote presentations, and one-on-one life coaching will provide you the tools and methods you need to elevate to a higher level of awareness. Life is not a destination, it's a journey, and you keep going and growing. So if you're ready to grow with us and experience results-oriented services, then contact C. Holloway Hill Enterprises today at 812-418-3391.
We are having such a great time, and joining us now is the beautiful Carolyn Mosby. And Carolyn, please share with our viewers and our relationship expert, what are your relationship dilemmas?
Sure. Well, I think the primary one for me is that I've been told by probably more than a few men that I seem unapproachable or too serious. So I think when you hear it more than 5 or 6 times, it's something you have to pay attention to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What comes to mind for me is the number one issue with your dilemma right now is perception is reality. We're mixed in a big old bowl of low self-esteems, high self-esteems, horrible childhoods, you know, arrogant past, whatever. But at the end of the day, perception is reality to us men. So it's actually a good thing. You can actually use this time as a homework, like a homework session, to where you can actually ask these guys, what about me seems unapproachable? And if you feel like changing, because some of the information you receive, you're like, I don't plan on changing that anytime soon. But if it's information that you can see yourself evolving into another person, I would actually use that as a homework, like a homework session.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. So you're saying the people that she has dated or who have kind of just pushed her away, can she go back to them just to get some feedback?
Absolutely. I would use that. I would use that because, again, you can look at it as the cup is half full or half empty.
Right.
So that information is vital to your future dating life. And I would actually ask the person that you plan on dating, or if you run into this person, ask them, what is your perception of me? And you can use that as a growing tool to get to the level that you want to be at.
I like that advice, Jason, because I actually hear that from a lot of my clients, that, you know, they've been told they're unapproachable or they're too serious or they work too much or, you know, they're really into their career and they don't want a relationship. So I like that advice because, you know, we get so caught up in our stuff and our things that we really don't know how to manage the situation. And I guess I can see that with Carolyn because she's very professional with what she does here in the city and, you know, her beauty. So that's great advice. I know there are tons of people out there who have the exact same dilemma. So thank you so much for that. Now we have another young lady coming up. All right, are we having fun yet? Joining us now is Renu. And Renu, I'm going to let you have it and talk about what is your relationship dilemma.
Okay. Hi, Jason.
How you doing? How you doing?
My problem is, like, I was in relationship with a boyfriend from last 1 year, and everything else was going good, but there was some issues which we had trouble with, and after 1 year we decided to break up and take a break between with each other. At the time when we broke up, I felt very sad, and I felt very like I went into a little bit in depression state. And at that time, my girlfriends who were really caring for me, they came in and they helped me to come out from that depression state by listening to me what was going wrong.
Great support.
And supporting me and telling me where I was right in everything. So in the same, when they were listening to me, they were kind of supporting me and were going against him, saying that they agree with me that we needed to be break and he was not treating me right. But after 2 weeks, and after I talked with him, he and I worked out our terms and we came back together. But at this time, some of my girlfriends, they are happy that we are back together. But there are other girlfriends who are like, no, he's gonna treat you bad again. And so they care for me, I understand. So they are still in tension, they still do not like him. So my problem is, if I'm back with him, I will be meeting them in social gatherings, and at the same time, I do not want them to have tension with him.
Absolutely.
So,
and that's totally understandable. I mean, that happens a lot, Jason. So, what's your advice?
Okay, you are the commonality that your current boyfriend and that your friends share. So they basically share you. They're sharing you. So by them sharing you, they have to share your viewpoints, and they have to share your likes and dislikes. Right now, your like is your boyfriend.
yes.
But right now, your like is your friends. So now, just like any effective relationship, you have to come to, let's just say, terms of agreements with boundaries set in place. So the boundary that you need to set in place is, this is what I want to move forward with as man, but I want to move forward with my friends as well.
And I absolutely love that advice. Yeah, because you've got to make sure that everybody's on the same page. And if they're not, then you may have to cut some of those friends loose. That happens. That happens. We are having such a great conversation here, and we're going to take a short break, and we're going to be right back with all three ladies and our relationship expert. Coming up, Living by Design.
Next time on Living by Design.
Hi, I'm Kathy Holloway Hill, and welcome to Living by Design. And we are very fortunate to be on the beautiful campus of Fairbanks.
We have several programs that are available.
He's my best friend and my husband, and I love him dearly. It's been tough. I mean, we both struggled with addiction and alcoholism.
We kind of both hit rock bottom at the same time, and we both knew that something had to change. And Shauna actually decided to go in treatment before I did.
He asked me how did I know that it would work, and I told him because I came through the program. That's how I know.
Don't miss Living by Design, Sundays at 6 p.m. on WHMB TV 40.
Welcome back to Living by Design. We are having a magnificent time today with our relationship expert and all of our lovely ladies. So Jason, you've heard all of the stories. So what is some of your overall advice for all three ladies?
Okay, overall and individually. Yes. I'm going to go with the overall picture right now. When you're in a relationship, you're basically in the behavior. The positive behaviors keep the relationships afloat. The negative behaviors diminishes the relationship or the marriage. So once we understand that you're in a behavior with someone, we have to go into studying the human behavior or the human evolution or the human progression of that person. So you're basically turning yourself into somewhat of an investigator, and you have to master your partner. You have to literally master your partner. So once you conquer and master your partner, you master your relationship. So individually, I'm going to give everybody's situation individual names. We're going to go with perception is reality. We're going to go with comfort building, and we're going to go with data collection. Perception is reality. Again, we're going to go, my best advice for you is I would use those, whatever you want to call them, accusations of you being bigger than reality. And again, I'm just paraphrasing. But you should actually use those times to do your homework. What about me seems unapproachable? What about me seems, to where you feel like you have a low self-esteem to approach me? Because again, we're mixed in this big bowl of Earth. The thing that we call Earth. This is one big bowl of different personalities and different perceptions. So your Mr. Right could have a low self-esteem. So your perception could actually make him intimidated to even approach you, but that could be the best man that God has for you. And for you, your situation is a little bit easier just because you just have to merge everybody's egos and everybody's feelings together. And it's going to be a progressive process, but time heals all wounds. So what you like, your man must like. What you like, your friends must like. But the problem with your situation is if your relationship ends today, I really feel like your friends will still be here for you. But you can't look at it like that because at the end of the day, you still have to follow your love life. So through your love life, you want to be with that man. So if your friends love you like they say and like I know they do, they'll accept it, and over time it'll get a lot easier. And for your situation, we're going to go with the data collection. I can feel like you really feel like you know what you want in a man?
Yeah, I do. Okay,
so you actually have a better situation because you're looking for your man, or you're open to a possible relationship online. So when you meet a person in public, it's easy for them to put their fake foot forward. Their fake foot forward meaning they're representative. But online, and I'm not saying an online dating site, I'm saying social networking sites, the sites that we use every day. I recommend you getting to know a man through that means of online networking, because you can see the progression of his thoughts, you can see the progression of his likes, and you can see the progression of his dislikes. You can see how he converses with his friends, and you can actually see, it's kind of like a pickable moment into what he really is. So now when you go on dates, you have a better picture of who this man really is.
That's awesome. Jason, I couldn't have said it better myself, but then that's why you're the expert. You're the relationship coach expert. That is really good advice. Now, let me ask you this, Jason, because we have these ladies and you've given them great advice, and I know there are tons of viewers out there who may have similar situations. How can our viewers contact you if they need some help or relationship advice or your services?
Okay, I'm going to use the same pitch that I use at my public speaking events.
Sure.
I really feel like I study 12 hours a day. Like I'm really immersed myself into the whole relationship counseling component.
That's great.
I really feel like there's no relationship question that I can't answer.
I love it.
So I actually want to put everybody to the test. You can email me at jmiller@healingheartsradio.com. So the letter J, M-I-L-L-E-R, @healingheartsradio.com. And I will try to the best of my abilities to answer your relationship dilemmas.
That's awesome. And Jason's information is on the screen. So if you want to contact Jason and reach out to him, just get in touch with him via the information on the screen. And Jason, I just want to ask you quickly, because I know these ladies had really, really, really good questions and really good dilemmas to ask you, to challenge you. What about marriage? I know you probably work with a lot of married couples as well, right?
Yes.
Excellent.
Haven't you noticed that I never say marriage advice? I always say relationship advice because that was your boyfriend before that was your husband. Why did we get a divorce? Because the relationship aspect of the marriage was missing. So I always say, and again, before I even got married, I said I would never give relationship advice, even though a lot of people were like, well, you're not married. I don't know if I should take your advice. But when I finally got married, I said I'm still only giving relationship advice because the relationship component is the most important part of a marriage.
Right.
So again, the relationship, when the relationship is right, the marriage is right.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And not only that, but we can't lose ourselves, because I know that's some of the stuff that you talked about with the ladies. We can't lose ourselves just because we're in a relationship or a marriage with someone else. So we have to be true and honest to who we are so that we can, you know, connect with someone else and have a healthy relationship. I know a lot of people say, well, it's 50-50, but isn't it 100-100?
Yes, it's definitely 100-100 because the 50% could be positive and the other 50% could be your negative side. Yes. But the negative side is the reason why we're having these shows, because the negative is the reason why the divorce rate in America is annually rising. And just some quick statistics, 72% of African American homes are run by single mothers. 45% of Hispanic homes are run by single mothers, and 30% of Caucasian homes are run by single mothers. What's a single mother? It's a woman who had a sexual fling, a broken relationship, or a broken marriage with a man, and she's left as the custodial parent. So at the end of the day, the relationship component of any marriage or the relationship component of any human interaction is the most important component of success.
I totally agree with that advice. And Jason, thank you so much for giving all of this tremendously valuable information to our ladies. Ladies, thank you for sharing and opening up just a little part of you to our viewers so that you can help someone else. We really appreciate you joining us for this segment of the Living by Design show, and we'll be back next week with more Living by Design.